The most disturbing aspect of this case isn't just that Waverly Hills Sanatorium is considered one of America's most haunted locations. It's that over 63,000 people died within its walls during its 51-year operation, and their spirits seem to have never left. From shadow figures stalking the corridors to the ghost of a young girl named Mary who still plays in the abandoned wards, this former tuberculosis hospital has become a supernatural nightmare where the boundary between life and death has completely dissolved. Viewer discretion is advised. If you're fascinated by paranormal investigations and documented hauntings, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel with notifications turned on for more incredible stories like this one. Rising from the hills of Louisville, Kentucky, Waverly Hills Sanatorium stands as one of the most haunted locations in America. This massive 5-story brick structure operated as a tuberculosis hospital from 1910 to 1961, witnessing more death and despair than perhaps any other building in the United States. What makes Waverly Hills particularly terrifying is not just the staggering number of people who died there, but the fact that their presence can still be felt by anyone brave enough to enter its abandoned halls. The story begins in the early 1900s, when tuberculosis was ravaging America like a medieval plague. Known as the White Death because of the pale, wasted appearance of its victims, tuberculosis was a merciless killer. In Jefferson County, Kentucky, authorities realized they needed drastic action to contain the epidemic. The original Waverly Hills opened in 1910 as a modest 2-story wooden structure for 40 to 50 patients. However, the tuberculosis epidemic was far worse than anticipated, and by 1926, a massive 5-story brick building was constructed to accommodate over 400 patients. This new facility was a marvel of medical architecture, designed to maximize fresh air and sunlight exposure, the primary treatments available at the time. Despite advanced facilities, tuberculosis remained largely incurable. Treatments were primitive and often painful, involving experimental surgeries like rib removal and lung collapse procedures, many performed without adequate anesthesia. The mortality rate was staggering. During peak years, one patient died every day. Over 51 years of operation, an estimated 63,000 people died within Waverly Hills walls. To handle the constant stream of bodies and maintain morale among living patients, administrators constructed a 485-foot tunnel connecting the main building to railroad tracks at the bottom of the hill. This death tunnel, or body chute, allowed discreet removal of the deceased without other patients witnessing the constant procession of death. Hospital workers would wheel bodies down this sloping concrete passageway to waiting hearses or trains. The psychological impact on staff was severe. Nurses, doctors, and orderlies reported high levels of stress, depression, and mental breakdown. Some staff members took their own lives within the hospital walls, including a nurse who hanged herself in room 502, unable to cope with the endless parade of death. By the 1940s and 1950s, medical advances finally turned the tide against tuberculosis. The development of antibiotics, particularly streptomycin, offered hope for patients who previously faced certain death. As effective treatments became available, the need for large sanatoriums diminished. Waverly Hills closed as a tuberculosis facility in 1961. The building reopened in 1962 as Woodhaven Geriatrics Hospital, but reports describe overcrowding, understaffing, and substandard care. Woodhaven operated until 1981, when it closed due to patient abuse scandals. After closure, Waverly Hills stood abandoned for over 2 decades, falling into severe disrepair while developing a reputation for intense paranormal activity. The first paranormal reports surfaced in the 1980s. Local teenagers breaking into the facility reported shadowy figures moving through corridors, disembodied voices from empty rooms, and sudden temperature drops. As more people came forward with similar experiences, it became clear something unusual was happening at Waverly Hills. One of the most frequently reported phenomena is shadow figures, dark, human-shaped forms that move through the building with apparent purpose and intelligence. These shadow people are most commonly seen in the long corridors, appearing to walk from room to room as if making rounds like the doctors and nurses who once worked there. The death tunnel has become a particular hotspot for paranormal activity. Visitors report overwhelming sadness and despair, as if the emotions of thousands carried through the passage in death have imprinted themselves on the location. Others hear the sound of gurneys being wheeled down the tunnel, complete with squeaking wheels and staff voices, even though the tunnel has been empty for decades. Perhaps the most famous ghost is a young girl known as Mary. She appears to be around 8 or 9 years old and is often seen playing in the third-floor children's ward. Unlike many other spirits at Waverly Hills, Mary seems benevolent and enjoys interacting with visitors. She's known to play games with investigators, moving objects on command and responding to questions by manipulating electronic equipment. Room 502 on the 5th floor has gained notoriety as one of the most haunted locations. This room was the site of multiple suicides during the hospital's operation, including the tragic nurse's death. Visitors report feeling overwhelming despair and hopelessness, and many flee after experiencing an oppressive presence that seems to encourage thoughts of self-harm. The paranormal activity isn't limited to visual apparitions. Investigators have documented temperature fluctuations of 20 degrees or more, electromagnetic field anomalies, and digital voice recordings capturing apparent disembodied voices responding to questions. The consistency of reports from different witnesses over many years suggests genuine paranormal phenomena rather than suggestion or imagination. The current owners, Charlie and Tina Mattingly, purchased the building in 2001 to preserve its history and investigate paranormal claims. They've opened the facility for guided tours and overnight investigations, allowing the public to experience the supernatural atmosphere firsthand while working to restore portions of the building. Professional paranormal investigators from around the world consider Waverly Hills one of the most active haunted locations they've encountered. Television shows like Ghost Hunters, Ghost Adventures, and Most Haunted have featured the sanatorium, capturing compelling evidence including full-body apparitions, disembodied voices, and unexplained physical interactions. The scientific community remains divided. Skeptics point to suggestion, building deterioration, and psychological impact of knowing the tragic history as explanations. However, believers argue that the consistency and intensity of phenomena combined with electronic evidence suggest genuine supernatural activity. Regardless of supernatural beliefs, Waverly Hills represents one of the most tragic chapters in American medical history. The suffering within its walls during the tuberculosis epidemic was immense, and the building stands as a monument to thousands who died fighting an incurable disease. Whether spirits continue to inhabit the building or phenomena have other explanations, Waverly Hills remains a powerful reminder of human mortality and the thin line separating life from death. The building has been placed on the National Register of Historic Places, ensuring this important piece of American medical history will be preserved. For those brave enough to enter its halls, Waverly Hills offers a unique opportunity to confront the reality of death and consider the possibility that consciousness may survive beyond the physical body. Today, Waverly Hills continues attracting visitors worldwide who come to experience its haunted atmosphere and learn about its tragic history. The legacy extends beyond its reputation as a haunted location. It serves as a reminder of medical progress and the importance of continued research into diseases that claim lives around the world. The tuberculosis epidemic that filled Waverly Hills with suffering has largely been conquered in developed nations, but lessons learned continue informing modern medical practice and public health policy. The spirits of Waverly Hills, whether real or imagined, represent the countless individuals who suffered and died within these walls. Their stories remind us that behind every ghost tale lies human tragedy, and that some places hold so much suffering they become windows into realms beyond our understanding. If you found this paranormal investigation as compelling and disturbing as we did, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel with notifications turned on. We explore the most intriguing ghost stories and supernatural mysteries from around the world, bringing you cases that challenge our understanding of life, death, and what may lie beyond. Your support helps us continue investigating these incredible phenomena. Until next time, remember that some places hold so much human suffering that they become windows into realms beyond our understanding. And the spirits of the past may be trying to tell us something about the nature of existence itself.